The front part of the skull, known as the anterior skull, consists of several bones that are connected and form the structure of the face and the front portion of the cranium. The frontal bone is located at the forehead. It forms the forehead, the roofs of the eye sockets or orbits, and part of the floor of the cranial cavity. The nasal bones are situated between the eyes, forming the bridge of the nose. These two small oblong bones are responsible for shaping the nose. The zygomatic bones form your cheekbones. They are located at the upper and lateral parts of the face. They form the prominences of the cheeks and part of the lateral walls and floors of the orbits. The maxillae form the upper jaw bones. They are paired bones that form the upper jaw and the central part of the facial skeleton. They carry the upper teeth, form the lower part of the orbits, and contribute to the formation of the hard palate. Lacrimal bones are small bones within the medial wall of each orbit. These bones contain the lacrimal sacs, which are part of the tear drainage system. The ethmoid bone is positioned between the eyes, forming part of the nasal cavity and the orbits. It contributes to the medial wall of the orbits, the roof of the nasal cavity, and part of the nasal septum. The superior nasal conchae or conchae are thin, scroll-like bony elements within the ethmoid bone. These help to filter, warm, and humidify air as it passes through the nasal cavity. While the superior nasal conchae are not separate bones themselves, they are crucial components of the ethmoid bone, playing a significant role in the structure and function of the nasal cavity. Singular version of nasal conchae or conchae is nasal concha. The vomer bone is located in the nasal cavity. It forms the inferior portion of the nasal septum, separating the two nostrils. The inferior nasal conchae or conchae are located within the nasal cavity. These scroll-like bones form part of the lateral walls of the nasal cavity and are involved in the airflow and filtration within the nasal passages. When referring to these in the singular, you would say inferior nasal concha. Palatine bones are located at the back part of the nasal cavity. These L-shaped bones contribute to the structure of the hard palate, the nasal cavity, and the floor of the orbits. The mandible forms the lower jawbone. It is located in the lower part of the skull, forming the lower jaw. The mandible holds the lower teeth and is the only movable bone in the skull, playing a crucial role in mastication or chewing and speech. Each of these bones plays a vital role in the structure and function of the skull, providing protection for the brain, supporting the facial structure, and facilitating sensory functions like sight, smell, and taste.